Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we will start with the next part of our neural network, which is basically optimizer. So in the previous videos, we have understood what a feed-forward network is. We have understood what are neural networks. We have also created a small feed-forward network where we will be moving only in the forward direction, which is basically passing the results and inputs in next layer to the next layer. So basically, if I just wanted to summarize everything, so it's like we get the inputs, we apply some weight and biases, we calculate the weighted sum in the next layer, then after that we apply the activation function in the next layer, and then we calculate the prediction. That is all happens like till the prediction. It's like a feed forward network, it's only in the forward direction. But the point where you compare your prediction and your true value and calculate the loss function, from there we start with the back propagation network, where based on your loss function you will optimize your weightage, then again calculate it. So it's like a reverse way. So we do that until and unless we get the loss function in the minimize. So now the point is, how do you make sure that you are optimizing your network? You are basically making sure that appropriate amount of weightage has been applied. A prediction that we are calculating is very close to the true value. Or how do we want that loss function should always be minimized to the appropriate value, like it should always be very very less as much as possible. So who does that part? Like how do you know that you got the loss function calculation, like you got the value of loss function, let's say it's 0.5. Now how do you make sure that it goes to 0.3? We make sure by applying an optimizer. So optimizer is basically an algorithm that will update the weightage of a neural network to make sure that we reduce the loss function. So the main goal of this optimizer is to make sure that to minimize the loss function as fast and as efficient as possible. So every working, the main functionality is here with the is been done with the help of an optimizer. So optimizer is responsible for all the, I was responsible, but optimizer is the one that will update all the weightage, and it will make sure that a neural network now calculates a prediction which is very close to your true value. It will always make sure that your loss has been minimized to every extent that is possible. And your model, you're getting a prediction which is efficient as well, like your neural network, your whole model is efficient as well. So that is working of an optimizer. So if we take it with an example, so loss is basically calculating the number of mistakes in a test. Okay. For example, when we took the house price prediction example, okay. So there we took an example that by running a neural network, we got the prediction of 2,50,000, but the actual value was 3 lakh. So now there's a 50,000 difference, $50,000 difference between the prediction and the true value, which is basically a loss function. Okay, so that is the error, the mistake that we got, that this much is missing. Now, based on that mistake, the optimizer will come up with a strategy. It will increase the weight in such a way that you will be getting the predicted value which is higher now. Before it was 2,50,000. So optimizer increases the weight and make sure the value is now higher. So let's say now it comes to 2,80,000. So now the loss function, the error is actually equal to 20,000. So this is how optimizer works. So it's like making a strategy to make sure we are improving our network, to make sure we are minimizing the loss function, and to make sure that a model is efficient as well. So it just decides how to update the model weights during the training period, so that we get these this loss in very smaller functionality. Okay. So this is the purpose of optimizer. Now there are multiple types of optimizer that are present. Okay, so the first one is the gradient descent optimizer. The second one is a stochastic gradient descent optimizer, which we call it SGD. And the third one is basically the Adam optimizer. So among them, the SGD and Adam are the most one that we have been used, and gradient descent is the most common one that everyone used. Okay, but usually this for the better practices, for the, I would say, in the practical organizations, like okay, so whenever you will work with real projects in an organization with the people, so there you will only be in an ML model. People usually and everyone will always use the SGD and the Adam optimizers. No one use the gradient one, that is just for the practice, because the problem I won't say. Let's actually understand first about the gradient descent. So gradient descent is just like a very basic optimizer. Here it only updates the weight in the opposite direction of the gradient of loss. So for example, if the loss, as I told you in the house prediction example, the loss was 50,000. So for that, what gradient descent will do, it will make sure that your weightage has been updated. So it will update the weight in the opposite direction. Like if the loss is positive, then it will increase the weight. If the loss is negative, it will decrease the weight. It just do opposite direction to the loss so that the price would come equal to it. Okay, so that's a basic thing everyone will do. Even if I know that my value, that for a prediction for a ML model, I got a prediction of 2,50,000 and my loss is 50,000. So I know that I need to increase my weightage because I need the higher value of prediction. So automatically I will increase the weightage. But what if the predicted value is 3,50,000 and your true value is 3 lakh? So it's a negative loss function, which is negative 50,000. In that scenario, I will decrease my weight and make sure my predicted value is smaller. So that's how the basic optimizer work in gradient. It will always update the weight in the opposite direction of your loss. So the disadvantage here is it is very slow for the large data sets. And now I'm telling you, every time you create an ML model, you're always required to use as much as amount of data set that is possible. You never use very minimal data set. Okay, we don't pass 3 to 4 values, or we don't even pass 1,000 values. We always pass the number of inputs to a ML model which is more than 10,000, 50,000, or even 1 lakh. Because higher the number of data set is, higher the chances or accuracy you will achieve in your ML model. So the second type of optimizer that we have, so because of that, like the slow data, it won't work for large data set. Because of that, we won't use it in the real world applications. Second is stochastic gradient descent, which is SGD. So SGD is, if I explain you with an example, it's like think of climbing down a hill in the dark. Like you don't know what the output is. You're just climbing something. You're climbing a hill in a downwards direction without knowing what will come in front of you. Okay. So every time what you do is you take small steps in the direction where the slope goes down. Okay. So where the slope is down, you take very small directions. So that's what SGD does. It will update the weights, but little by little. Okay. So instead of using all the data at once, updating all the weightage at once, it will actually update the weight after every each mini batch of data. For which I mean is, let's say you have 1 lakh of data. Okay, so for 10,000 of data, it will update its weight. For next 10,000, it will update the weight. For next 10,000, it will update the weight. So you have multiple inputs like x1, x2, x3, x4. So for x1 and x2, it will update the weight. For x2 and x3, it will update the weight in the next loop. For x3 and x4, it will update the weight after next loop. So basically what happens, so as an overall we can say that SGD updates the weight in a very little by little in a each mini batch of data. So because of that, it's very faster and it works better in practice. Okay. So why better in practice? Because you know every time you're taking a small step. So when you take small steps, your chances of achieving a high accuracy, it is quite higher because you're being conscious about it. You're being prepared about it. Okay. So because of that, usually it's faster and works best. So we use the stochastic gradient descent. We will be understanding. Let's actually jump onto the code and understand this specific SGD. So I have my code executed. So okay, so the basic formula for the let me write it for you. So the basic formula for the SGD is basically, we if we wanted to calculate a new weight. So new weight is equals to our old weight minus the learning rate of your model multiplied by the gradient. So that's a basic formula for the SGD optimizer. So now, for example, let's say if the model wants to predict, we were taking an umbrella example. Okay. So the model predicted that Okay, let me just give you another example that would be more appropriate in this scenario. Let's take another example there, we wanted to create a model where we wanted to know how much umbrella we need to buy. Okay, I know this might you find it very inappropriate, out of the world, but let's just take it very simple example that came into my mind. So we want our ML model to predict us how many umbrellas are required for us. Okay, so let's imagine your model predicted 10 umbrellas are needed, but in reality the true value is 5. So what is happening here? We are calculating the extra value. Okay. So the SGD will slowly adjust the weight towards the 5. What I mean by towards 5 is the reality was 5. Okay. The answer should be 5, but answer came 10. So it will shift the weightage towards the point where the 5 should be the output. It will, at the fifth step where the output was 5, it will shift that weightage towards that direction. Let's actually understand with an example. We'll write a very simple code to understand it. So first thing comes is we need to import torch because that is required for neural network. Second thing is we will be importing torch.nn as nn, which is importing the neural network. Then we will be importing the optim. So import torch.optim as optim. Perfect. Now we will be creating a simple model where we'll be providing the linear values. Okay, so I'm using model is equals to nn dot linear 1 comma 1. Okay. Now comes the part of an optimizer where we'll be passing the parameters of the model and the gradient to it. Okay. So I'm going to write optimizer is equals to optim dot the type of optimizer, which is SDD we are using. Then we use the model parameters. So I'm using model dot parameters comma LR is equals to 0.01. Perfect. Now fun thing. Okay. Optimizer will only work when you calculate a loss function, because based on the loss function, you will be calculating, you will be increasing or decreasing your weightage so that you achieve the minimum of the loss function. Okay. So loss function has a role here. So we will be calculating the loss function. So loss underscore function is equals to neural network NN dot. Here we are using MAC, which is we understood in the previous video. We have two types of loss functions. One was mean squared error, second was cross entropy. So we are using mean squared error, which is MSE. So we use MSE loss. Why we are, because we are working with numbers here. Okay, remember the 10 and 5 that we are working with numbers here. So because of that we are using this. Now we will be providing a dummy data. Okay, so just x and y value. Y will be the actual value, x is the where the input value where you will be generating the output. So y is the output actual value, x is the input. Based on x will be generating a prediction. So torch dot tensor, we pass the values in the form of a list, or I would say in the form of, yeah, each list will contain the input. Okay, so 1.0 is the one value, comma 2.0 is the second value, comma 3.0 is the third value. And yeah, I think this much is enough. Let's pass only three values. Now we'll calculate the y. So y is equals to torch dot tensor. So torch is the function library that we have. From that we are using the tensor library, torch function. Sorry, I mean torch is the library and tensor is the function we are using. 2.0 is the actual output for it. Then we have 4.0 and then we have 6.0. Perfect. So what is basically here is y is actually equal to 2x. Okay, if you see, it is the y is actually the multiplication, like the twice of the number. So 1 by 2 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4, and 3 into 2 is 6. So y is actually this output, and we want our model to predict this. So for predicting the loss, the predicting and optimizing your data, we need to create a loop. So we'll be having an epoch. So we'll run it for the 100 times. Like, so 100 times means first time you get a loss, you again run it, optimize it. Next time you get a loss, if it's you again run it and optimize it. Next time you get a loss, you again run it and optimize it. So till 100 times we'll be running this for loop. We'll be making a prediction, we'll calculating the loss, we'll optimizing our data, we'll move backwards, again optimize it, and then we will calculate everything. So if I write for epoch in range, this model might take a lot of time to run because we are using 100. And if you all know, for loop actually consume a lot of space complexity and time complexity. So always it's suggested not to use the for loop in your models because it occupies lots of time complexity. And a efficient model is the one where the space and time complexity is the least. But here we are using it. So y underscore prediction, we will be making a prediction of what? We'll be making a prediction of our x value. Now we'll be calculating the loss. So loss is equals to, we have this loss function. So loss underscore function, where you pass first is your predicted value, which is y underscore prediction. Second is your actual value, which is y. So we calculate the prediction, we calculated the loss. Now comes the part where you will reset the gradients, which is basically will make sure the optimizer is having zero gradient. Like we'll start with zero and then calculate everything. So we have the zero gradient where we are resetting the gradient. Okay, just make sure these words, reset the gradient. Now the second part is where we'll be calculating the gradient on, based on that we will be applying the weightage. So based on loss we calculate the gradient. Okay. So loss dot backward. Here we calculates the gradient. Perfect. And then we will be optimizing our data. So optimize dot step. So optimize dot step, what actually it is doing, it is updating the weight. So it update the weights. Perfect. So we have three things. First, resetting, because in follow, let's imagine here you have the weighted updated. Okay, we calculate the gradient in this step. The first time, okay, first time at 0, we calculated a gradient, we applied the weightage, we move back again for the for loop, we calculated the prediction, we calculated the loss. Now in the optimizer gradient, we have this gradient which has been calculated, but we don't want that. We want 0. So we again reset it to 0, again calculates the gradient, then optimize it based on the new prediction. Why we are again calculating it? Because now we are calculating the gradient based on the new loss and new prediction. Because after every step, the loss value will change, the prediction value will change, right? Because that's what our aim is. We need to make sure the loss is minimized. So that's how it is done. Then we will be printing for everyone. We can't print the all 100 values. So we'll be dividing with 20 and printing it. So epoch divided by 20 if it's equal to 0. So every time if you get a remainder to be 0, please print it. So print epoch, which is basically epoch value, comma, loss, which is basically the loss of item. So loss dot item. For every item, we are calculating the loss, which is now divided with 4f, because you might get outputs in float value and we don't want that. Like we need to make sure we upgrade it till 4, because the decimal value will go till 10 decimals value. Okay, so we don't want that. So because of that, we updated it to be this. Okay, we got the output. Very perfect example to show you the difference between them. So now if we look at the data, and the loss was 17.672. In the third 20th step, we decremented the loss to be 0.20, which is a very huge difference. If you see, like from 17, we move it to 0.20. Now the loss, the error is in point 0. Okay, it is in 0 point functionality. It's not a positive number. It is still a positive, but still now in zeros, like in 0 point way. Which is very less. Okay. In the 40th floor, we again decremented it to 0.04. And the 60th, we made it to 0.0363. and in 18th we made it to 0.0329. So if you look at the first loss and if you look at the last loss, there is a very huge difference between them. So that is what our optimizer did. Our optimizer makes sure that the loss function is minimized to as much as possible. So whenever you're creating a machine learning neural network model, we always make sure that we run the range. If I make sure if I'm using it to 50, let's say, and now I'm executing this. You see, I'm still decrementing it. So previously the loss was 39. Now it has been decremented to 0.07. So in every range that you have where you make a prediction, you calculate something, you all see now I'm getting a different value. The loss is 24, now the approach is 0.03, then 1, then 1.128. So every time you're updating a value, every time your model is predicting something, every time you're calculating a loss, and based on your loss, you're optimizing your weightage, you're optimizing your steps, and making sure that you achieve the minimum loss that is possible. So this was the overall understanding about SGD optimizer. Now moving on to the next one, which is basically the ADAM optimizer. So let's understand what is a ADAM optimizer. The full form for it is adaptive movement estimation. So ADAM optimizer is just like SGD, but it's way more smarter than that. How? So basically, the ADAM optimizer will adapt the learning rate for each parameter automatically. What I mean by here is it will work like SGD. It will update the weight in a small little by little. After every mini data batch, it will update the weight. But with the adaptive learning rate, based on the learning rate that we have, like the learning rate of model, like how quickly the model is learning. Let's say the learning rate of model is 50%. So model is able to learn based on the data set. 50% the model is able to learn properly. So that is the learning rate of a model. Every model has a learning rate, like how quickly or how much percentage of, oh sorry, how much percentage of them they are adapting towards it. So that's a learning rate. Plus it will like the Adam optimizer will make sure that it will have this learning rate for every parameter automatically whenever you make every follow-up step. So because of that, it works faster and it's better for so many problems here. Okay, so if I just explain you the adder with an example, let's say what we were doing, SDD was walking down a hill blindly, right? SDD was just an example where we understood that where you were walking down from a hill blindly, like there's a dark over there. You're taking every step small by small steps you're taking and making sure that you achieve the goal. Adam is similarly, we are walking down a hill, but Adam is like having a memory, having a map, and having a momentum. So you know the route, you have the memory. Like previously, I took that step, and I'm now at that specific point of the hill. Like I've crossed half of the hill, 20% of it, or 10% of hill. I have the location, I have the map of the hill, like from where I have to go, and I also have the momentum. Like at each step, if there's a slope, I have to move smaller. If there is no slope, I can move faster. So you know the momentum. So because of that, you will go faster and smoother. So because of the reason for the most of the problems for the very last data set for the appropriate machine learning model that we use to create, we use this ILM optimizer method. So let's actually jump onto the code and let's understand about the Adam optimizer. Okay, so we'll create a basic simple code for this optimizer. Now, what will happen in the same functionality if I ask you? So previously the optimizer was this. Let me just copy. Okay, instead let me just write it. We have this functionality to be similar. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. So model linear. Then we have optimizer is equals to optim. Now the type of optimizer that we are using Adam. We pass the model parameters, model dot parameters, comma, we pass the learning rate. This is LR is the learning rate of model 0.01. is equals to 0.01. So based on the learning rate, it will use the learning rate. Okay, previously the learning rate was same, but we were using SGD model like optim.sgd. Now we are using optim.adam. Now calculate the loss function. So loss underscore function is equals to neural network dot MSE because we are working with numbers. MSE loss. Perfect. Now we provide some of the dummy data. So X is equals to, we will use the same data and we'll look at the difference. Okay. Tensor, we pass the parameters. So first is 1.0, second is 2.0, third is 3.0. Perfect. Then we have the actual value output, which is torch dot tensor. So it's multiplication. So we have it like 2.0. Then we have it 4.0. And then we have it 6.0. I know I missed one bracket here and here. Perfect. Now we'll start with the epoch part. Okay, so for every epoch is like changing every range. Like if I explain you in a simple word, it's like in every flow, in every loop you make, you calculate all the prediction. And so y underscore prediction is equals to model with value x. Then we calculate the loss. So loss is equals to loss underscore function where we pass the y predicted value, y underscore prediction, comma y. Perfect. Now we calculate the optimizer. So optimizer, we first make sure we reset the optimizer by using the zero gradient functionality. Then we calculates the gradient. So loss dot backward will calculates the gradient. Then we will be using an optimizer dot step to make sure we are updating the weight. After updating the weight, we'll be printing the data because we wanted to look at our functionality. So epoch divided by 20 is equal to 0. Sorry. Yep, perfect. Now we will be printing those values. Okay, so print epoch for yes, and then we have the loss calculated. So we pass the loss dot item. Perfect. And here we want our loss to be printed till 4 decimal values. So because of that, we are using 4F. Okay, so I think this error is happening because I missed this. Perfect. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, so you see in the first, the approach, the loss was 28, second it was 22, then we move it to 17, then move it to 12, and then move it to 9. If we look at the previous model, it was 24, we move it to 0. Now it's 28, move it to 9. I know, see, if I rerun this model, I get another value. See, the now values it was moved to 6. If I again run it, I get another values. So every time I run my model, I get different values. Why? Because I'm only providing 3 data sets. How my model is going to learn with only 3 data sets? We need so many values. We need to provide so many input values to make sure the model is actually appropriately performing. Okay, so let's say if I pass 10 values here, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0. And one more thing, I want you guys to actually code with me. Like just not only look at the code, try to code it with me as well. Then only you will be able to understand. So 8 multiplied by 2, 8.0, 5 multiplied by 2, 10.0, 6 multiplied by 2, 12.0, 7 multiplied by 2, 14.0, 8 multiplied by 2, 16.0. Perfect. Let me run this. Oh, you look at the loss we are getting as much as the higher value. We got the higher value of loss, which is 119, because we are increasing the values now. Okay, so model is not understanding learning properly, not making a prediction properly, because we got higher values towards it. So now the loss is 119. We move it to 42, which is a quite big difference. Okay, we move the loss from 119 to 42 in the last epoch, which is still 80th. After, and let's see, there is one more. This is 80th epoch. We are running till 100. So we still have last 20 epoch that is remaining. We haven't printed that, but we still have that too. Okay. So because of that, you still increase minimizing your loss. So in every loop, we are minimizing the loss function. In every loop, we are making sure that we are optimizing the weightage in those appropriate way where we are minimizing the functionality, where we are actually minimizing the error that is possible. So in every loop, we minimize it by using the optimizer. So a correct optimizer is decided. It based on the optimizer, you minimize your values, and this will make your whole machine learning model more efficient and more faster, and will achieve more accuracy. So this was the overall understanding about the optimizer. I hope you all are clear. And please try to code it with me even after, like, stop the video meanwhile, try to code it by yourself, because let's see how much you remember it. So yes, that was all about it.